I wanted to touch on something because I want to know, like, why don't black men care to make their women happy? And when I say their women, I don't mean any random female. I don't mean that. I don't mean a female that you clearly see as a jump off or whatever, but the women that they desire to be with, the women that they love, the women that they want to be in a relationship with, the women that they want to marry, have kids with. Why don't they care to make their woman happy? It's really, it's really frustrating because you have men that will bring up sex or will bring up something sexual when they're trying to get to know you, or they have no problem asking for sex. You know what I'm saying? They just blurt out, when I'm gonna get to see you, when I'm gonna get to do this to you. But let a woman ask a man for money. Let a woman ask a man when he gonna take her out to dinner. Let a woman ask him. Let a woman ask him when you gonna take me shopping. You know what I'm saying? Let a woman ask him, oh, can you get my nails and feet done? The first thing he say is she's a gold digger. The first thing he says is like, oh, you always want something, but you had no problem asking for pussy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You have no problem hopping in these girls' DMs asking for sex or saying something nasty or whatever, something that don't even involve, you first treating the woman to dinner or something or taking her out on a date. When you go on these dating sites, the first thing these guys say is, what's up, beautiful? How you doing, beautiful? Good morning. But they don't sit there and say, can I take you out sometime? I would love to take you out. When you gonna let me take you out? They don't say nothing like that. They don't say nothing involving a date. No matter even if the woman is, a whore or she's a hoe, whatever, this, that, and the third. At the end of the day, her time still isn't free. So the fact that men are just so bold to ask for sex and not think that the woman doesn't expect anything in return is ridiculous to me. And this is the exact reason why I don't like to go on dates. And nowadays when a man asks me on a date, which is 9 times out of 10 is on a online dating site, because these men, they're not going to approach you in person because they too scared, and they too, they just don't want to because they're scared of rejection or whatever. But they know that in person they gonna actually have to come with something more than good morning or hello beautiful. Like if a man is not asking me, hey, can I take you out sometime, can I take you on a date, then he automatically just gets blocked, because you constantly asking me the same thing. Hey, what's up? Why don't you say something? Can I take you out? Because I don't need you to waste my time. Like, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, my time is not free, and I'm not going to deal with a broke man. And majority of men just, they don't care. They don't care to try to make their woman happy. I see it with other races of men. They love to please their women. You know what I'm saying? They love making them happy. They want to put them in a nice house. They just, they take pride in being men, and I just don't see that in a lot of men these days. And maybe I could be wrong, because at the end of the day, I don't deal with other races of men. I don't. I never have. But but it just lets me know that, majority of men don't really have nothing going for themselves. They're probably broke, probably living on their mama's couch, probably sleeping on the floor, probably looking for a place to stay. No, they don't have nothing going for themselves. And but even then, you have men that do have money, but they're stingy with it. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you can't win for nothing. But I just want to know that, why are men so bold to ask for sex, but when you ask for money or something, they want to act like they ain't hear what you say.
Let's jump back in the book. So chapter 3 starts on page 10. But and I read the first chapter, the first paragraph of page 11. That was my opening. Now I'm starting at the top of page 12. So we're getting into the 3 types of women that the 3 types of black women that Sister Shahrazad Ali is describing. So the 3 types are predictably the lower grade, the average, and the high class. And there's a before this. She said the special language is ethnically specific to recognize, excuse me, this the special language is ethnically specific and recognizable to the learned and unlearned black man. The terminology is not meant to be humorous either. There is no age limitations on the characteristics of these women. So the characteristics or the labels that she's giving these type of women are the lower grade, the average, and the high class. And remember, this is not us pointing our fingers and punching down on black women. This is an examination of what happened to black women, right? Because normal black women or black women that don't have the level of trauma that these black women have don't operate like that. We know the majority of black women don't fit these categories, or they may be. We don't know. That's why we're examining. So the low-life black woman. This black woman may have been subjected to abject multi-generational poverty, illiteracy, and shame as a child. She works on the lowest rung of employment due to not being properly educated. She dresses in inexpensive Kmart type styles, and her face is greasy from wearing too much cheap makeup. Her hair will also be greasy, perhaps have a few specks of lint, and may be plastered down around her face in an unsuccessful attempt to create curls or the baby hair look. She may sport a raggedy ponytail with a child's beret or rubber band. Bathing is not that important. Her bra strap may be gray from non-washing, and she may wear her panties 2 or 3 times straight without changing them, or wear none at all. She drinks alcohol to the point of intoxication and curses loud in public, real loud. She hangs around weekly in common local bars and goes out with strange men who she fights with regularly. She may have a main black man who she fights with at will. She has battle scars on her face, neck, arms, and hands from warring with the men and women in her neighborhood or nightclubs. She goes along easily with the moral dares and relates aggressively to her neighbors. She does not read the newspaper and uses drugs when they are available. If she does not work, she is on the public dole, welfare. She may dress her child or children in the latest styles and will spend all of her welfare check on clothes and partying. She views each check day as heaven on earth, a short-lived time when she has purchasing power to feed her tepid wishes. She might have a gold tooth or a few teeth missing. Her nails are conceivably chipped or broken. Her posture is that of a toad. She may be overweight and an over-average breather with a protruding pot gut. She comfortably wears run-over shoes. Her heels may be dirty or crusty. She borrows money and food from her neighbors. She uses deodorant occasionally and is overly impressed with the fancy dressed black men in big flashy cars with lots of gold. She is materialistic on a small scale and does not like to stay indoors. Even on cold winter nights, she can be seen roaming the streets or going back and forth from one night joint after the other. She is not ashamed of her condition or predicament and appears to be quite satisfied during her sterile, non-productive days. Her time is made up of gossiping with her neighborhood cronies, looking at television, wish shopping in near malls, yelling at her children, not keeping up with her children, and walking back and forth to the corner store. Nowadays, you can add scrolling social media. She shops above her means, has no plans to change and attempts to use black men available to finagle him out of money, drinks, or car rides. She has no idea what to do with the black man herself, and she does not fantasize about a better life. She is looked upon as shameful in civilized society and is considered a savage. She often hates the black man in the higher social classes and considers them conceited. Her words of thought is very, very small. Her ideas are simplified, and she speaks the language in flat, abbreviated terms full of mispronunciations and wrong tenses. She does not know any better and does not think she is capable of learning better. She is in a pitiful state of condition, and if she has any dreams at all, they are of a black man rescuing her from her status. She is also inclined to respond to the advances of white men looking for a good time. She may sprinkle herself with cheap perfume profusely. If a Black woman on this level is involved with drugs or abuses alcohol, she becomes a dredge of society and a corrupt mother. Men do not matter to her at all on that level unless they can provide her with money or contraband. This group requires no further discussion. Other than that, this Black woman must be claimed, cleaned up, and returned to her proper state of existence as a civilized woman. Okay, so she's talking to what would be commonly known as the hood rat, the bird, the project chick, um, the young lady who grew up, or even a lady who grew up in the country, right? A young lady who grew up in an environment where there was no real leadership, resources were scarce, opportunities were scarce, education was scarce, the outlook was vivid, or the outlook was bleak, rather. Esteem is vacant from the parental structure on down to the children. She has no real examples of what to truly become or what a real woman is. But that, once again, like Shahrazad Ali is saying, it's only over for people who don't want to get better, right? But also, when Black people want to get better, they have to have access to opportunities and resources. But they have to first have that will to get better. But she's explaining a young lady who does not have the will to get better, a young lady at her particular point in time and place in life. She is content with where she is. She thinks her lifestyle is an acceptable lifestyle. So she lives it, muddling through life. But then think about the men who are having sex with her and making babies with her. Think about the men who are spending money on her. And she also explained, hey, she might meet some white men who are willing to spend some money on her, right? So she's basically a woman of the night or of the day or of the dating apps these days, right? So she's using her body to get to where she need to go or to get as much as she can. That $40 holler, right? So this woman is damaged, though. This woman is damaged. This woman is misguided. This woman probably has experienced trauma. This woman has been victimized. But the key is to empower her so she won't go through life operating as a victim, which is a bad place to be. But in order for this woman to meet a man that can breathe life into her, she has to be willing to accept the life that he's breathing into her. She has to clean herself up before she puts herself out to be found. She's not on the same wavelength as a man who is able to be that sun to her moon. The man that is able to water her flower, the man that is able to pour into her. Because trust me, we be wanting to do that. But you have to be able to do it to the right woman, right? And that's what Shahrazad Ali is saying. This is an archetype of Black woman. As a matter of fact, this Black woman right now, this Black woman that's being explained, is on full display in Black America. This is the model Black woman in the media, not in the Black community, but in the media. But there is spillover because the media is propping up this particular Black woman. There is spillover into the Black community. So you have women who know nothing about these lifestyles, who are now trying to portray and carry themselves and think and talk and walk and behave like the woman on the lower grade Black woman. The lower grade Black woman, the hood rat, the bird, is the one that is propped up and said, this is authentic Black culture. The Sexy Reds, the Suki Hondas, the Glorrillas, the Cardi B's, the Megan Thee Stallions, the Nicki Minaj's, right? Going back to Lil' Kim and Foxy Brown and Trina and all them, right? So this is what we're dealing with. But remember, we're in examination mode. So we always want to know the why. What's the why behind this? Remember, the environment that this young lady grew up in is an environment that is not conducive to producing proper Black people. This environment is conducive to the production of. Think about it. All right, so let's move on. So the second woman is the average Black woman. This Black woman is an enigma somewhat. She surfaces as a steady employee, enjoys weddings and birthdays, and may make big preparations for both. She is neat, probably goes to church regularly, fixes her hair nicely, and speaks coherently. She is at least a high school graduate and may have some college or special vocational training. She is not overly ambitious, but is an active participant in life and enjoys many things. She is fairly clean and will celebrate and participate in festivities with zest. She is thoughtful, mannerable, and knows how to meet people. She is proud of her level of sophistication and may party occasionally. Excuse me. Her behavior with the Black man is routine in that she experiences a more controlled form of suspicion, doubt, or fear. She may be shy by comparison to the Black woman in the first category, but does tend to make her likes and dislikes known. She is not always talkative and can best be found and examined in general office duty jobs. She is a step or two higher than the menial labor and could be referred to as corny. She does not routinely abuse drugs, although she might get high every once in a while. Alcohol is a vice of choice. She is capable of consenting to marriage from a from a perceived security and to impress her friends and family. She remains content to work from 9 to 5 weekly and will see her steady bow on the weekends and remain focused on her own priorities. She dances at the nicer clubs. She is easier to get along with than number one. Her most vicious reactions are brought on by jealousy and being jilted. Her fantasies of what a relationship should be is patterned right off of television or from True Confessions magazines or social media nowadays. She is a traditional in her activities as American apple pie. She does not ask deep questions and is content to go along with the status quo. Her faith is important to her, and she mentions the good Lord when discussing certain topics. She is attracted to lower class or upstanding Black men who are gainfully employed in the workforce. She may visit the fast lane, but she is most comfortable shopping at Learner's and cooking collard greens for dinner. She has few secrets, but most of them are trite. She is not necessarily an innovator. She is not necessarily an innovator. She is more of a follower. She enjoys the Jerry curl look and the fancy cut outlandish hairstyles. She spends of what she has on clothes. She might have a little car, is anxious to meet men, and exaggerates about her capabilities and accomplishments. She tries to be entertaining and clever when she is with her man. She is malleable. So let's move on to the high class. This one is the smart, possibly raging beauty, sexy. The Black women in this category are the most difficult to reach and train. She is confident, intelligent, attractive, and at least by good quality standards, and wears the finest clothes and has a high price, well-paying position and prides herself on being state-of-the-art aware, reads books, looks at educational television, and has a college degree of some sort. She goes to church sometimes, may do volunteer work, and has a definite political party she aligns with and may contribute heavily to the special social causes if they appeal to her. She is a member of a ritzy club and has some nice jewelry, wears expensive popular perfume, and is very opinionated to a fault. Her alma mater is important to her. She is amused by spectator sports, especially football, and may play tennis or bowl. She curses more in private than in public. She likes to let her hair down with the girls and considers herself a prize. She may be an entrepreneur. She may snort a little coke or take a few puffs of reefer, but she rarely gets too out of control that she forgets her community standing and professional responsibilities. She is familiar with intricate banking systems and has a retirement plan, possibly stock and a money market, and has an American Express card and travels. This book was written in 89. Yeah, this book was written in 89, but it's still accurately explaining women of today. She likes LA, the Bahamas, Europe, and possible Africa. She may frequent the health spa and buys expensive gifts for her man and friends. She drives a nice car, maybe a BMW or some snazzy sports car. She may have a little bit above her. She may live a little bit above her means, but manages to juggle her finances to get what she wants. She is very headstrong and delighted in demonstrating to the black man her wealth and vast knowledge in a variety of things. She is the modern girlfriend, believes she is completely self sufficient, and is not particularly interested in keeping house, cooking dinner every night, and treating the black man with special accord. She is in favor of independence and boasts of doing things for herself and thinks the black man should do likewise. She performs beautifully in front of strangers or company, makes a good impression, and exudes sex at will. She is greatly influenced by her peers or others whom she deems as pace setters. She adopts popular trends and attitudes about dating or marriage, which she gleans from magazines, news programs, or the newspaper, or now social media. She becomes furious when she thinks her man is playing around on her and will fight viciously to the end to prove the black man wrong. Because she is so concerned about public opinion and what they think, she will customarily deal with a black man whom she is not particularly interested in to have an escort on her arm. She is a rat who behaves like a dog while purring like a cat. She is moody, disagreeable to live with in peace if things don't go her way. She believes her specialized knowledge from her occupation qualifies to be equal or superior to the black man. She will tolerate a black man as long as he fits her idea of what she should look like, dress like, work like, and act like. The number three black woman is an insecure wad of knots and hides behind all of her good education, fine wardrobe, shapely body, and savings account. There's another category of black women who are available. They are the picturesque black women who dress in African traditional garb. They wear brightly colored black head wraps and sandals, bold African jewelry, and have dreadlocks, or commonly called dreads or locks these days. They may also have a ring on their nose, possibly several holes in their ears, and they wear layers and layers of fabric wrapped like a sarong around their bodies, often with no bra or underwear. They may also wear a heavy laden head wrap twisted in several attractive styles. Some of them are clean and beautiful, others are not. From a distance, it's hard to tell. These black women portray a costume that implies they are not with Western ideas and dress and give impressions by their wardrobe that they represent the unknown African culture and the very roots of the black women from the homeland. The impression they wish to convey is that they are in disagreement with European society and that they want no part of Americanism and bravely foster the idea of back in the day. On closer examination, the black man will find the brightly colored garments are only an external facade, and when examined up close, the outfits may be soiled, and the woman will have a foul body odor reeking from under her arms. Her feet may be ashy and calloused, and her skin is unclear for. Her unique hairstyle, her dreads, smell. It is impossible for dreads to not have an offensive odor. Hair breeds bacteria, and black hair that is not washed regularly, parted, scalp oiled, and conditioned becomes matted because it cannot breathe, so it stinks. The actual major benefit for the black woman who wear dreads is not that she does not have or take proper care of her hair. No matter what kind of African science she expounds, she is just lazy and has found a way to practice her laziness in the name of being cultural. She may also claim to be living some kind of primitive existence, whereas she survives with a few civilized conveniences as possible. This means that the gas, electric, or water may be off in her home. She might bed down each night on the hard floor on a pallet and claims to be vegetarian or only eat health food or spew some other specialized diet that matches her outfit and hairstyle. Her religious views are complicated and confusing. Her home is filled with African statues, African printed fabrics, and the red, black, and green symbols and colors associated with the African continent. She may smoke reefer. If the black man questions her about her reasoning behind wearing the dreads, she will find that these sisters who may dress and look alike do not have a unified main doctrine or creed they believe in. Most of them have a different explanation and belief about why they are involved in this particularly unwholesome style. This group of natural-looking sisters practice the same deceit and mockery of the black man behind his back as much as the black woman with permed hair or a jerry curl. Her values may even be considered more uncivilized because she is living on a very low level of existence by choice. If she is in rebellion, it is only against herself. She also does not teach her children proper table manners or personal hygiene. They are witnessed to be badly dressed, in need of a haircut or hair combing, and have no knowledge as to why their black mother insists that they wear dreads. These black children are shown by example that it is acceptable to live in squalor and go without conventional conveniences that make for a clean home environment. The sisters who propagate this kind of life is most happy when she can find a black man who will go along with her alleged cultural statement and who agrees with her deplorable living conditions in the name of rejecting American lifestyles. These black women should realize that there are no histories of black women who dress and live like she does, who represent the pinnacle of refined and admired black womanhood. The fact that she has no logical explanation as to why she is wearing her hair that way or living that way is another hint that she is confused and has only found a way to be flashy, distinguishable, and impact her presence on onlookers. It is impossible to represent the original queenly black woman by living in filth and not using deodorant. This black woman thinks that by neglecting her personal hygiene, she is making an impression of originality. Be aware that the only statement she is making is that she is nasty and too lazy to take care of herself and her children. So obviously she will have no interest in trying to help a black man take care of himself. Dirty is dirty. Make no sense about it.